the iPad. The Nano Texture definitely does its job when it comes to cutting down reflection.
Apple, came up with their own way of trying to lure you to buy the 1 terabyte version by having this Nano Texture glass that they're calling it.
I do have a Nano Texture studio display here in the studio, but that is mainly because of all the lights here in the office. I personally don't really feel the need to have that on my iPad Pro, but that's very personal.
I think I may have found a product which not only does 95% or 100% of what the Nano Texture display will actually do for you, but it's also about 95-97% cheaper than the Nano Texture display, while also having some benefits that the Nano Texture display doesn't. So let's check it out. So if you've seen the new iPads that have been released, you've probably noticed that now they have a Nano Texture display one available. So I believe this display is similar technology to what they used in their studio displays that they released earlier on. Main reason is to reduce glare on the product, so when you're out and about it's less glare from the sun, but also it gives you that textured feeling, so when you're drawing with the Apple Pencil it feels like you're drawing on actual paper. So let's go through why I didn't get the Nano Texture display. First of all, I simply didn't want to get an iPad Pro. I don't need all that extra power it comes with, and I personally don't think 90% of the people don't need that extra power it comes with. If the iPad Air had that 120 Hz display, I think a lot of people would have gone, well, a lot of people that purchased the iPad Pro would have just gone to the iPad Air, because a lot of people want to have that gaming experience of the 120 frames per second, but they can't get it with the iPad Air. I think over 90% of the people that get the iPad Pro are not going to be using it to its full advantage, and that could be just a limitation to iPad OS. But yeah, it's not something I wanted. I went for the iPad Air 128GB base model because all I'm going to be doing is watching videos on there, having it as a travel companion, taking notes, maybe do some drawing, thumbnail work on there, and writing scripts. Other than that, I don't need any of the extra power, and that M2 chip in there is more than capable of doing all of that plus some. I've got an M1 Max MacBook behind me which does all the heavy lifting, so video editing and whatnot like that, so I don't need to do it on the iPad. And I've actually tried to do it on the iPad for the past week, because I started my YouTube channel with an iPad Pro doing all the video editing, thumbnail editing, etc. Since going to the MacBook, everything just feels like I'm jumping through hoops if I try and do it on the iPad. There's just so many extra steps, or things just not as convenient. So I definitely won't be going back to the iPad for any type of YouTube work. That will stay on my MacBook. This is more of an entertainment device, and that's what it's going to stay as. Now, of course, if I did go for the iPad Pro to get the Nano Texture display, I would have to go for the 1TB or 2TB model, which just increases the price either to $1,700 or $2,100. I paid, I think, what, $700 something like dollars for this iPad Air, and I've got a external storage device which I can plug in there, so I don't need the extra storage on the actual iPad. So why would I pay an extra $1,000 almost just to have that Nano Texture display? It just makes no sense to me. So an important factor for me, especially on my phone and iPad, and even on my MacBook if I could, trust me, is having a tempered glass screen protector on there. Now, I don't think I've ever dropped my phone to where the screen protector is cracked, but I know that if I didn't have a screen protector on there, the next day it would probably drop and smash the screen and there'll be a big bill. If I go for the Nano Texture display, how would I put a tempered glass screen protector on the display without it beating the purpose of the Nano Texture, because it would just be covering it. So you're going to have that display, you can't put anything on it. It has to stay like that. Of course, you can protect it in other ways. Some people don't like screen protectors, so they don't mind that. But for me personally, it was a no-go to begin with. And the last point I would say is these nano textured or matte screen protectors, while they're good for lowering the amount of reflection and sunlight that goes on the screen, something that you're going to probably find out is you do get less clarity when it comes to display. So if you're watching videos, you're going to notice black staying as black and things aren't as sharp. And especially if you're writing text or script, you're going to notice that text can sometimes look a bit fuzzy, which can be a bit irritating, especially for me, because it just feels like my eyes aren't in focus, but I know it's nothing wrong with me, it's just a display. So this product I'm about to show you now fixes all of that and more. So the product is actually on my iPad at the minute. I don't know if you can see. So there's less glare coming straight away. And this is the ESR paper film magnetic screen protector that goes on there. I wouldn't even say it's a screen protector, it's more just an ESR paper film magnetic screen cover. And it's got a magnetic strip on the top and bottom. So if I want to, I can actually take it off of my iPad when I don't need it. And I get that glossy screen. And then when I want to use it, it just magnetizes on the top and bottom. And I'm ready to start drawing or doing anything I want with the paper feel. Or if I want to go outside and I want less glare, I can tap this on and have that option. Now one of these will set you back between $10 and $20, and you probably won't need to buy another one, unlike the other paper screen protectors which actually adhere to the screen, because once you take them off, you basically can't reapply them, as you have to throw them away or buy a new one. With this one, you can take it off and on as many times as you want. So you really buy it once and use it forever. And then it does come with a plastic file, which you can slip it in when you're not using it. But it's so much more convenient and so much more cheaper. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're going to say, but Alma, you said you like to have tempered glass screen protectors on your devices. This is not tempered glass. Well, if I take it off and you look at my display, you might notice that I've actually got a tempered glass ESR screen protector on my iPad, which should tell you that this actually, because of the magnetic strips, even with having a tempered glass screen protector on my device, it still has enough magnetic power to magnetize over. So now I've got the protection of the tempered glass, and I've also got the possibility of using the paper-like paper feel screen cover on there as well when I want. So it beats everything. Well, it does everything better in my opinion, and saves you a ton of money, and gives you the option of putting that paper type feeling on the iPad Air as well, not just the iPad Pro. So let me know what you think of that. Let me know if you got an iPad, would you go for the Nano Texture or glossy? Because I personally prefer the glossy, but with this thing I've got the option of, well, I've got the best of both worlds. But yeah, like the video if you liked it, subscribe to see more content, share this with somebody that's thinking of spending all that money on a Nano Texture display. And I hope this video helped you. I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.